All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D campaigns set in my messed up campaign setting, and the people below and around me are the people that are seriously starting to question their decision-making skills for agreeing to do this. So, yeah. Uh, if anyone is wondering why we are having another episode this week when we had one last week. Last week was a weird, or last month was a weird month that had 5 Wednesdays, and I had to cancel this game so many times due to my failing health. That I decided to run it as my extra game last month, and now we are back on a regularly scheduled schedule. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, for the rest of the month, it'll be the regular. First and third will be Traversing the Veil. Second and fourth will be Legend of the Three Kingdoms. And yeah. So, I think it's time that we return to Traversing the Veil. The captain has been on a mission beyond her goal of keeping her crew together and getting enough work to keep sailing. She's been looking for the members of her former crew, and she finally got a hint, a strange message given to her in a rather ghoulish manner. But it gave her a place to look. After going to the edge of the sovereignty, dealing with aggressive books and puzzles, she met the 2 new crew members, one of them a cartographer, who was able to plot her a course out to find and hopefully reunite with her former crew. That was not to be, though, as the crew sailed across the veil. Thank you for the phone.
Found another piece of a map.
As the crew sailed on the veil, they suddenly started seeing strange things happening. Ball lightning attaching to metallic surfaces, lightning bolts striking the ship, and a storm appearing out of nowhere. Suddenly they all started hearing voices in their heads. Very disparaging voices. It sounded like their own, until Lucky figured out not all was how it seemed. After arguing and fighting with the voices for a while, finally got to the point where the voices gave up. It was a huge lurching sensation. Everything went black. The crew awoke. They were stripped of their weapons and any items generally used to cast spells, and woke up in a forest of some sort. They heard someone calling to them, and they came out to discover a vast field being worked by dozens of people. The first one to meet them invited them into their little village, and that is where we left it.
Why is it the first thing that comes to mind is like the villagers from Rick and Morty who have the freaking purge thing happen like once a year, and we just happen to land on the day before.
So,
Look, just as long as we don't see Nicolas Cage with like a cage of bees on his head.
Not the bees!
Papa Bear thinks this bitch is too conscious.
so, you guys have all kind of been led out of the forest itself, and you can see you can see a quaint little village. There's quite a few different houses, and you can see towards the other side of the village is this massive 200-foot tall windmill. And as you are kind of walked through the village itself, you see this rather large, impressive structure. It's got these two massive metallic doors that seem to be closed currently, and it has carvings all around it, though they're kind of hard to pick out exactly what they are. They look vaguely humanoid in shape, but they seem to be missing certain aspects that would make them identifiable, whether it's from where or they were intentionally made vague. You're not quite sure. As you are being led through this town, your guide seems to know exactly where you're going. And while he keeps kind of looking back to kind of make sure you're all still there, he doesn't seem to be pressing for info or anything like that. He's not standoffish or quiet in any way. He just doesn't seem to be actively engaging any of you in conversation as you will walk. While you guys are going, is there anything you want to be doing?
While we're walking, I would just like to kind of poke my head out and go, excuse me, my good sir, would you be so kind as to tell us what is the name of your humble little village right here?
Oh, of course. This is Seaston Village.
Ah, Seaston Village, it is such a nice place. And then I lean down to Smegwick and I go, remember that name, see if it's on the map when we have a moment.
The cartographer should know that.
And he kind of keeps going for a little bit. Yes, it's been around for a fair amount of time, but we could call it home, and it gives us everything we need. We've got the fields, and we get wildlife from the forests. The windmill draws up water for us. We quite literally have everything we need to survive right here. It's kind of I did a deal.
That's great. That's awesome. I know as Smegwick's like, as I know I'll find familiar. If Spitwit is still there, doesn't have the feature on distance in regards to this. If I can dismiss him, that's an action to temporarily dismiss him to his little pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And then bring him back within 30 feet of me. Smegwick wants to see. I want to see if I can do that for Smegwick.
Okay. As you attempt to kind of focus and will him to either dismiss or reappear, nothing.
That means someone took him out.
And as you kind of say that under your breath, you see your guide kind of turn to you. Sir, did you have a question?
Yeah. Do strangers like us turn up often in your lovely little hamlet?
That's it's somewhat complicated. I'll let.
Kind of a yes and no in this situation right here.
Well, I'll let Eden explain. She's much better than I am. Right over here, we have our meeting hall. There's food waiting, and you can all rest and get something to eat. I promise this will all make sense in a moment, but we don't like overwhelming new arrivals.
Okay.
Well, with what we've been through, I don't think anything can overwhelm us right now.
A very common story, to be sure. Anyway, and he continues kind of leading you guys on.
And then I whisper back to Reggie. Yeah, so it is common.
Huh. Mental note. Mental note.
As you guys are traveling through, you see a few of the houses. People will kind of come out and they'll see you. Some of them will wave to Michael, your guide. Some of them will kind of very politely acknowledge you and just smile. Thus far, you haven't seen any children.
Does it appear to be like a mix of various races, or is it primarily just one that seems to be the resident?
You've been seeing a relative mix. The one race that's a little bit surprising that you haven't seen has been Aarakocra. Seen as that they are a kind of the predominant race in the sovereignty. But there's also, like, a lot of Aarakocra tend to have multi-level cities, and traditionally they used to live in mountains. Like, a lot of the Aarakocra cities were actually carved into mountains and things like that. So with this being kind of a really kind of flat, small island, it's not completely bizarre that there might not be a ton of Aarakocra here. It's just not a place that they would have settled traditionally. Anything else you guys wanted to do while we're going?
No, I'm good.
I'm just like glancing at everything and taking mental notes of the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a question I'm gonna ask, but I'm gonna wait until we meet this Eden chick.
Okay.
I'm taking it all in and just kind of sussing everyone out. Like, are they all acting the same, or are they all like?
Go ahead and make
like
me a wisdom insight check, Imp. Or I'm sorry, Smegwick.
When one speaks, they all speak in unison.
God, I
The
swear to God.
entire village.
All right, fine.
Greater good.
All right, you know what? Okay, 6. So I'm done with you. You ticked me off last.
International, you go.
Well, nope. Ignore that last one.
Could I possibly give it a shot? Perception check?
Sure. It'd be insight
Or
for
insight, right.
that.
Well, they're both +3 anyway for me, so.
Yeah. Ignore that other roll I did by accident.
Not that much better, a 7.
Yeah, so both of you guys, like, just the entire experience is actually making it kind of hard to concentrate in general. Like, you're still a little bit groggy from whatever happened to you, and so you can't see anything that would jump out to you as seeing awkward. It just seems like you've wandered into kind of a small, kind of agrarian village.
I also have proficiency in insight, but it's in Naoi's character to be just a bit too trusting, so she'll not take anything in.
Thinking for Smegwick because he's too paranoid. He sees everything suspicious. So now it's just like all just static.
So as you guys round another turn, you do have eventually come to this kind of large tavern-looking building. And as you could go in, you notice something a little different from most of the taverns you see. The entire ground floor is relatively open. There's a kitchen in the back that is an open air kitchen, so you can see all the two cooks that are back there. One seems to be baking bread, and another one seems to be getting ready for a meal coming up relatively soon. But the rest of the main level is entirely open. There's a small kind of raised platform in the center where there's a table with a few chairs there, and then there are tables everywhere else. You don't see anywhere that could be used as lodging. There is a set of stairs near the back that goes up to a second floor, but you also don't see a bar or an area where an innkeeper could keep books and lend out keys and things to various rooms in that. So it's kind of a very weird tavern to be sure. As you could come in, you can see on the dais is an older woman, probably in her late 40s. Her mannerisms would not betray her age in any way. She has kind of a strong stance. She seems to carry herself very like a woman half her age, and she seems to be addressing someone that you can't see because they're on the other side of the dais. As you come in, Michael, the person that's been leading you, takes the walking stick he's been walking with and kind of just taps it on the ground a little bit, and you see her kind of stop, and as she turns, she's got a fairly large amount of brown flowing hair kind of held up in a messy bun, and as she turns around, she just gives this incredibly large, just a smile. Michael, seems you have brought us guests. Yes, Eden, they just arrived. Wonderful, just wonderful. Let me dismiss the children. Their lesson is about to get complete. And she turns around. Okay, children, go return to your parents. Do your chores, and I'll see you here tomorrow, bright and early. And you see, looks about 20 to 30 children kind of get up and rush out of the room. A few of them give you guys a very, very wide berth, but the rest of them seem to care very little about your presence. Some of them even run into you a little bit as they're going.
I'm giving them a wide berth.
Can I do like a quick little sleight of hand to like pull a random playing card like out of thin air, just to kind of give them a little smile?
Sure. Go ahead and make me a performance check.
All right. Since I have a +10 in my performance, that is a 29.
So as the kids are coming, a pair of them is kind of chasing each other as they're going out, and the one in the front doesn't see you at all and kind of runs into your leg. And as he looks up, he's like, "Oh!" And you kind of give him a mean look, and then you go, and you open your hands up, stand tall, and then go, and you start picking cards out of the air. He's like, "Oh!" And he starts, like, as you start dropping them, he starts kind of picking them up and like, "How'd you do that?"
You do that.
Now that my new little friend is a secret that you will only learn when you become just as dashing as I am.
And he kind of giggles, and they
I give him the ace of spades before he runs off, just to kind of keep.
And he runs off.
I mean, magic exists, and the kid's impressed by it. I don't know, fine.
You hear an audible gasp behind you as Lucky is just going. How
He's
did
kind
you
of
do
odd, but
that?
I don't
Eden
know.
comes over. That was very impressive. Most of the children here have never seen magic before.
I do apologize if I may have overstepped myself there.
No, not at all.
I merely
Especially,
want. Sorry.
that's fine. Especially since I know that was not magic. Simply mastery of skill. Very impressive.
I merely wanted to show off that we and my fine group of compatriots here mean no harm, though we will confess we are a little bit confused as to exactly where this place is exactly.
That is a fantastic question. Please, join me. Cecil? You see the non-baker kind of lift his head up. Would you bring us some lunch? They must be very hungry after their ordeals. He's like, "Nyeh." And she kind of leads you up to the dais, and you see a rather nice table. There's nothing on it currently, but very soon you see Cecil rushing over, and he's got some plates. It looks to be some kind of vegetable medley. Some of them are cooked, some of them are raw, but it smells really, really good. And he also brings over a very large clay pitcher of what looks like water and a bunch of flagons. And as Eden steps over, she starts pouring the water herself and kind of placing a glass near each of the chairs. But please, sit down. It is our pleasure to serve you.
I'll sit down, but pull my chair back further and just start working on fixing Gerald while we're talking. And I'm going to wait to eat or drink anything until someone else eats or drinks before me.
Okay.
Now, Zarian, while staring at Reggie, trying to figure out how he did what he did.
You're going through all the different magic spells. It's not prestidigitation.
Oh, no, it's just a hamster wheel spinning, and I just had no idea.
Owie, Reggie, Smegwick.
I'll sit down.
Okay.
I'll sit down as well, though I'm nodding to everyone, being polite as I sit. You kind of see me do like the noble thing, right? Like take the napkin and I like tuck it into the top of my shirt.
Okay.
Smegwick will also take a seat cautiously. There was just a side note question I asked you. Feel free to say yes or no. It's a silly question.
Not that you can see.
Okay, cool.
At this particular point in time, they're not in season.
Yeah, so Smegwick will just belly up to the table. I think the one thing you'll notice, like he, because I know it's not the same thing in this world as during other game world perspectives. As a goblin, it's not just because he's a goblin. He actually sets up and he starts placing the silverware and dinnerware, or resituating it as a proper meal, even if it's just like a knife and fork. He'll actually like make sure the placement's right.
Okay. So as you all sit down, Eden comes around and goes, "Well, you all must have so many questions. I'll start with some answers to the questions we always get asked. Yes, you are alive. No, this is not Elysium. I'm very sorry about that. Yes, we are all here voluntarily, I guess you could say. Mostly because there's nowhere really to go. No, none of us are mind controlled or anything like that.
I'm insight checking that shit right there. I am so
for it.
insight checking that.
Same.
Yeah.
No, there's no way I'm letting that go.
Alright, inside plus
That's like being so blunt that you're saying we'd like to have you over for murder. I mean dinner.
Yeah.
Oh God, 10.
Okay.
Yep, 15.
12.
So both of you get,
What was it, 17?
and then with Lucky, all three of you kind of get. She was making a joke.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, that everything about that seems to be that she was trying to cut the tension.
in failing.
Failing.
Digging more.
As far as where we are, we're in Seaston. There are a few small forested islands near us. We send hunting parties to them every so often if the forests around the edge of the island are not providing enough protein for us. But beyond that, we don't know. We've never had contact with the sovereignty. We assume we're somewhere in the southern outlands, but as far as we're aware, we have no idea.
Have I, in my profession, heard this name before?
Never.
I'll just continue working.
There are kind of like wives' tales and sailors' stories about, islands in that were lost in the southern outlands that were so far away that no ships could ever make it back, and shipwrecks of entire colonies springing up in the southern outlands. But to your knowledge, they're ghost stories. They're stuff that sailors tell each other for fun.
Couple of things, real quick, Jody.
Sure.
Which building are we in on the map?
Currently, you are here.
Oh, no, it's not even near where we were.
Yeah, you guys basically you entered here. This was that big temple kind of thing.
Yeah.
You went around here, and then that's the front door right there.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're in the golden roof.
Yes, golden
Yeah.
roof.
And the other thing is I would like to cast Detect Magic and glance around the room and see if I see anything
Okay.
besides us below.
What components does that have again?
Verbal and somatic.
Okay. So as you begin to start casting, Eden kind of looks at you and just kind of watches you as you finish the incantation. And as you look at her, nothing on her seems to glow. As you kind of look around, this whole area is kind of dead.
I mean, I'd be a bright beacon because I'm all magic, apparently.
As you kind of glance around, normally detect magic makes magic things glow. Normally, there's kind of this, like when you turn it on, you kind of get that like eye shine effect, where the just innate magic in the earth and objects in general kind of lead a little glisten. But other than the fact that you glow a little bit, and so does Zarian, you would almost think that you were in like an anti-magic zone or a dead magic zone because there's nothing here.
I'll get up and just start aimlessly walking around, if not go outside, and just keep looking around because it lasts for 10 minutes.
As you get up, Eden goes, I can help you with that. As your detect magic spell has probably seen, there is no magic here. We don't use magic. Something about this island, just the natural nature magic seems to not exist. The weave is somehow different here.
If I might ask, my good ma'am, you seem to have implied that we are not the first ones to be shipwrecked here. When was the last time someone arrived at your little town before us?
I think Sitesh arrived 4.5 months ago, I believe. He was by himself. The last large party would have been maybe a month or two before that.
No one's asking. I'll ask. Where's all our crap?
I mean, I was gonna ask too. Yeah.
I do not know.
Do we
You
still
have-
do we still have like our coins, like all our money on us, or is that gone too?
The only things that are gone are weapons and anything that can be used to cast magic aside from your Tinker's tools.
But we still have like our money on us?
Every thing else you still have.
Okay, that's perfect. I'm gonna try something with this
Okay.
woman. I reach into my pocket and I reach for a copper piece, a copper coin, and I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts on this woman.
Ooh.
Because I still do not trust her. Yeah, all it requires is just one copper piece to just cast right there. She does need to make a wisdom saving throw of 15.
As you start casting it, you see her wave her hand and the spell stops.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's considered extremely rude to attempt to probe someone's mind without their permission. I understand you come from a different place, but we would appreciate if you would not use your magical abilities on those around you.
If this place is so dead, how did you just do that?
Yeah, she's good.
I was not born here. I came just as you did, and before coming here, I was rather gifted in the magical arts. This is not a dead magic zone. Magic can still be cast, it's just not used. We have no use for it. And due to the innate lack of magic in the land, tends to require a little more effort than is really necessary. There are much better uses for the effort around here.
Smegwick, because he used it a little earlier when we got here. I'll just say, like, he wasn't paying attention. When he's going to cast Mage Hand again, he's going to, like, reach for a cup and trying to bring the cup over to him.
The
Like he
spell
did before.
still works. Those of you that have cast magics are starting to notice a slightly larger strain
Like,
when casting it than normal. Like, the spell still works, but you feel like you've spent a lot more of your innate kind of casting strength than you normally would. It's kind of like if you've ever been to a high elevation place and you've taken like a walk and you realize you're winded much faster than you think you should be. It's a very similar of a feeling. But the spell works perfectly fine. You are welcome to use your magic however you like on your selves, but please do not use it on the other villagers. They will be very upset.
Yes, ma'am. We'll try not to.
Oh, well, I'm glad you said that, and I'll start speeding this up, and I'll just keep doing. I know it's a minute, but just mending after mending to get Gerald prepared faster.
I will say, because mending requires those lodestones.
I use my smith's tools.
Ignore what I'm saying.
Artificer!
As you're doing that, she looks at you. She's like, "That is interesting. What are you doing?"
I'm fixing him.
Yes.
He's
but-
very
but
handy with tools.
I've
tools,
never
mechanical.
seen someone who could cast spells through a hammer.
Oh, I was trying to bullshit and imply it was just natural talent. He was just naturally mechanically inclined.
Well,
I didn't know if it looked. I didn't know if it looked like a spell.
I mean, mending is a spell.
Yeah.
So, and again, with her being a relatively talented spellcaster, but before she would recognize a mending spell, if not from the incantation, because obviously artificers do things very differently. The effect on the metal is kind of a dead giveaway that magic is being used.
Magnets. Great artificer, Jesse Pinkman.
That's very interesting. Might I ask why you feel the need to repair your armor? There are no dangerous animals, other than the occasional stag that is unable to find a doe.
Oh, this isn't armor. This is
Yeah, he's like, he just likes to keep busy, active hands and all that. And just, I look at him like,
Go and roll me a deception check.
me or
Anyway,
Snagwick?
just told the truth.
I'll let
could
Smeg
I-
do it since he's the one that's
Okay.
Could I assist Smegwig and give him an advantage and basically tell her, like, a lot of us need hobbies to do when we're out on the Veil,
I'm gonna
like during long
I'm
long
gonna
journey.
say, with the fact that Smeg is kind of silencing Zazarian right now, I'm gonna say that you can't really help him simply because there's just a little bit too much going on.
Okay.
appreciate the effort anyway. With you're gonna hate me.
Go for it.
17 plus 8, so that's 25.
Yeah. So as she's sitting there, I understand completely. Though you will soon find many uses for your hands to keep them from being idle.
Oh, I'm sure this could be of a great I'm sure this could be of a great benefit what he's working on right now to helping the farmers. Not a lie.
Well, but please, to dig in. You'll find the food here to be quite unlike anything you've ever eaten before.
Examining the food.
And she starts picking up some of the roasted vegetables with her fork and just kind of digging in.
Would it be investigation?
What exactly are you looking for?
Suspicious shit on in the
Well,
food about
I guess
the food.
my question is: are you looking to see if it's poisoned? Are you looking to see what kind of food it is? Because depending on what information you want about it, it'll be a different roll. Is
I would say abnormal qualities about the food in and of themselves. 'Cause, it's like I can understand like nothing you've ever seen or experienced, but like there's a difference between food and then like the funny smell or the funny texture giving off,
So-
as opposed to basically in terms of just basically sussing out
specifically. Are you looking at identifying the actual plants to see if they're edible, or maybe they're a type of plant that makes you suggestible? Are you trying to look if the food itself has been tampered in some way, something
I would say
added
tampered.
to it?
I would say
Okay.
tampered.
Then that would be I will let you choose between medicine and investigation.
I'll go with investigation. That is a dirty 20.
All right. Doesn't look like there's anything added to it. As you're kind of looking it over, you're not even really seeing spices, which you find a little bit odd. You think there might be a little bit of salt and pepper on it, but beyond that, like this is bare food. For the rest of you that actually to try it, I'll say Reggie and Aoi, you guys have probably had similar food to this as far as quality is concerned, but this is still the freshest food you've ever eaten.
Not bad.
Like, this is literally farm to table, as in this was underground this morning. So, and on the vine this morning. So if you guys have ever eaten actual fresh produce that's just been picked, it is a mind-altering experience.
Oh yeah, it's a world of difference.
Yeah. So as you guys are eating,
wait.
like, the flavors are incredibly strong in all of this. Even those of you that are not particularly fond of vegetables in general are astounded with just how nice this food is cooked. It's perfectly cooked. Just the tiniest bit of salt and pepper on it to bring out the natural flavors.
Yeah, Reggie just kind of takes a carrot, just kind of bites it, goes, and just gives like a smile and nod to Eden.
I'm gonna wait like 10 minutes to even take the first bite, just pretending like I'm distracted with fixing my armor.
Sure. As she sees you all kind of enjoying it, yes, that's a very common reaction. It's not very many people in the sovereignty actually get to taste purely fresh food with no magical additives or preservatives added to it.
Oh, I'm no stranger to farm fresh. Just the quality of the farm fresh here. My compliments.
We've been very blessed. We have incredibly fertile soil, and we have some very ingenious composters that ensure that any and all waste is recycled and all the nutrients are brought back into the soil. Our growing season is year-round due to the wonderful weather here. It's a wonder anyone is able to live any other way.
Hey, Jody.
Mm-hmm.
With my keen mind, do I know which way is north while we're here?
Yes, north would be the opposite direction of the map you're looking is north is up.
Okay. Just making sure it wasn't like a weird pole situation.
Nope. So I hope I answered most of the big questions, but obviously you have more. Please, ask whatever you would like.
Yes, surely, though such a paradise this is, surely someone who has come here has wanted to leave for various other reasons.
Of course. All
And
of us,
those...
when we first arrive, all of us try to find our way back.
Has anyone ever left?
Not really. There's been a few who have tried, but we have so few ships. And none of them are large enough for any sort of long-term expedition.
But you do have ships.
Yes, small ones. Like I said, we send hunters off every week or two, maybe once a month. They go to the nearby islands and hunt for game that's slightly more plentiful. Every so often they'll bring back fruits and other things like that. A few of those that have been unable to adapt have asked to be left on those islands, but they always return with the time.
Jody, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we remember, like, any kind of image or shape or whatever? Do we remember anything about whatever kind of creature, like, completely took over our ship that led us to being here? Like, do we remember any details about what the thing even looked like?
Make me a history check.
Okay.
I mean, if I saw it, I would, but I'm distracted.
Not that good. A 9?
You can't remember much. You're still a little bit foggy.
I mean, I
Was
remember
everyone
what was
who saw
described
it?
as. Sorry, I remember what was described as a general shape below the clouds, but I
Well, go
don't
ahead
think
and
there was anything else.
go ahead and roll me a history check as well, Smegwick.
Okay.
Well, while he does that,
Mhm.
Oh, so much better on my physical dice.
That's why I
20
don't use digital.
Digital dice have been good to me occasionally. I mean, you've seen my stats, but
Maybe that's why D&D Beyond has betrayed you. Got rid of all your good rolls in the beginning.
yeah. So that's 23.
23. Yeah, as you try and, you're kind of going over, you realize something, and as you realize it, a slight chill goes down your spine. You can't actually remember how you got here. You're having a hard time remembering the ship at all. You know you were on a ship,
That's
but for the life of
disconcerting.
you can't bring up a mental image of what the ship looked like, the layout, where your cabin was. Nothing.
oh shit, this is the Lotus Eaters from the Odyssey.
So I remember the ship. I'm presuming I remember the name.
You don't. You know you
Oh,
were
shit.
on a ship,
Oh god!
Jody.
but it's more like someone told you were on a ship. You don't have any memories of the ship itself.
With a 23, I don't remember the damn. Oh god.
Well, that's the
Is
thing. You wouldn't have even realized you were missing the knowledge had it not been for you concentrating so hard.
Is that the same for me with Keen Mind?
Yeah, you don't have to roll. You literally, there is just, and for you, it's even more awkward because you don't forget things.
Does anyone remember the name of a damn ship?
I mean, several.
I just wanted to let you know we're going to one more spot, and then we're gonna go home.
That's fine.
Cool.
What was that?
Eden goes, "Oh, KKK," and ushers the random person out. As she kind of looks at you all, this is very common. Whatever process occurs to bring you to our shores has a rather detrimental effect on memories.
Oh, that's great. Anyone?
Has that occurred with every villager here?
Yes. There are a few who have regained small memories of their lives before, but we found dwelling on what can never be again tends to cause more problems than it solves.
What is the name of a damn ship?
This is kind of scary now that I think about it.
But do I remember, like, not the ship, but do I just referenced, farm experience?
You,
Is it like I have a blank spot in my memory?
for the most part, you remember most of your life as if somebody told you about it. Actually conjuring images is incredibly difficult, but the further back in your memory you go, the easier it becomes. With going back about 1.5 to 2 years, you can actually conjure images in your mind's eye.
So, is that am I having like a deja vu? Like I know these people since it's only been like 5 days since I met them, but I'm just going along with them, kind of thing.
Again, you coming up with specific memories is very, very difficult. But again, as if someone had just told you this, you know who these people are, you know their names and things like that. You just, and you know how you met, but you just can't remember meeting them, if that makes us a sense.
Yeah.
You must be very exhausted. I understand completely. We've prepared a house for you all to live in. Feel free to go there. There are beds, and we'll call you for evening meal if you are hungry. Feel free to take the rest of the day to recover. Tomorrow, you can meet me here in the morning, and I'll answer more of your questions. Don't worry about trying to pitch in or anything like that right now. You've been through an ordeal, and it's best that you rest and recover.
Thank you. Appreciated. Get this way, that way.
Alicia, and you see this woman with kind of dark skin and relatively short hair comes in. Yes? Please, to take them to their home. Of course. Please, if you'll follow me.
I'll have Lucky help me carry what have worked on back so I can continue repairing Gerald.
Okay. So she takes you out, and literally on the other side of the street, there's this kind of longish house that you guys can see. And she kind of takes you over, and she goes, and she puts a key in the front lock, opens it up, and there you are. There are two bedrooms on the main floor, and three on the upper floor. Feel free to relax and to enjoy yourselves. It's fully furnished. We've been waiting quite some time for you.
If I might ask, dear miss, exactly how long have you been waiting for us?
Well, this house has been empty for a couple years now.
Empty house on a place that has so many people. What happened to the previous occupants?
Well, it was their time, and fortunately.
Sorry.
Well,
Entire house.
we're all exhausted, so we'll meet you another time.
Okay. My name is Alicia, by the way. I live just in the next door, so if you need anything, please come over. My door is always open.
Thanks, Alicia. Smegwick. Pleasure to meet you.
Reginald Masterson Aberdeen Miles III.
You can call him Reggie.
And you young miss?
I'm the Sparks gal.
Okay, and the two mechanical gentlemen?
I pretend like I'm just going to get back to my work and not give my name.
Okay, well, I've got work I've got to get done, so goodbye. And she goes out, closes the door behind her.
Why do I get the feeling that the last residence is now compost for their garden?
All right, crewmen huddle.
The door closed, right? Or do we need to close the door?
Door is closed.
I am freaking out!
Okay, this is not good at all. We came on a ship, and that ship's name is... Okay, I remember a ship. I remember a thing. And then just
You do a lot of annoying things. Did you have an annoying thing you did on the ship?
Yeah, yes. You know, I will admit that I did that, and what I did was... Oh, no. Okay,
I mean,
this is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
Yeah, I got a photographic memory, and I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wait a minute. Photographic memory. All right. And I just walk right up to him and I just go, "All right. What is the most recent memory you have before we woke up in that tree?"
What would it be?
What would it be?
I'm gonna say spelunking and finding Lila Lucky.
Oh,
Well,
really?
with my he asked a question, but I'm gonna like immediately think like with my 23, what did I get?
I have to think of your backstory. Before you've been with the Captain Second Little Longest, right?
Second longest, second longest, second to
So,
Reggie.
without giving your backstory away, the last clear memory you have was when you stayed in that certain place for an extended period of time.
Oh yay, that's my last memory.
Yep. I
Oh,
hope I'm not
joy.
confusing.
No, I know
backstories.
exactly what you're talking
Okay.
about. Yeah. You're right. It's just like so he's like, oh joy, that's a last friggin' thing I remember. The great was that. Awesome.
Have I finished repairing Gerald?
No. You're gonna have another a few hours of work ahead of you. Again,
Maybe I
with-
can help. I can like.
with the
Crap! I can't do that.
with how much more effort it takes to cast magic here, you're noticing you're getting tired much faster. And repairing him, you think is going to take you the better part of the rest of the day.
I just make my mage hand again while Zarian's futzing around. I'm just like, something's messing with it. I don't know if that's natural or maybe there's something here that's leeching the magic.
All right. I have an idea. Who here has a parchment and a thing to write with?
I mean, I
You're
would.
kidding, right?
No. Just roll with me on this. Who's got writing materials?
I just open up my bag and just dump out like the hundreds of blank maps I probably have with me.
All right, everyone,
That
take a sheet, write down all the spells that you can remember that you can do. Something tells me if we forget how to cast spells, we're gonna forget we even have spells later.
Right.
I got my book. I have a book I'm always writing in. I'm just like, all right.
Does the book still have writing in it?
The book is blank. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Watch me piss off the
It's-
entire group. Yeah.
Well, I don't like. I don't have any incriminating things I've jotted down. I have like theories and stuff, and like general thoughts. I don't
Dear
name anyone
diary,
specifically.
today,
I don't name anyone specifically. That'll get me in trouble.
the annoying one was so cute. OMG.
And somehow, while we're writing down all our spells, our writings look very much like a character sheet.
So weird.
Which house is ours, Jody?
This one right there.
Oh,
I'm gonna
dang.
see.
Okay.
So we are right between the eating hall and the temple. Can we see the temple clearly through a window? The temple is that lower building with the blue roof, right?
There we go.
Yes, that's the
So
temple.
this is the
Yeah.
the temple, and then this is your house. This back wall here, that is a fireplace and a chimney. There are no windows on that side.
Okay.
So, folks that are watching at home, this is the idyllic town of Sisseaston. And this is that meeting hall they were in, and this right here is their house, and the temple is right there, and then the big old windmill. If you go back to there. All right. So
How far away are we from the temple?
couple hundred feet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll roll right up on there.
So when I'm done fixing Gerald, I will begin working on a map of this place so I can figure out potentially where we are. Because I've done so many expeditions to the Southern Outlands.
Mm-hmm.
I should know where this is, but the fact that I don't, it troubles me.
Well, second question, I was kind of wondering, once you're done with the old Gerald there, could you craft a spell focus?
If you use the same one I do,
I'm guessing that's a no.
I'll hold up my hammer.
I was saying, like, you can't use your tools to, like, make a spell focus, like, say, crafting.
Depends what you use. I don't know.
Well, I used to have a copper snail shell, but I'm pretty sure you can't craft that.
I mean, mine came about through invention. Yours, I gather, is a little different.
If you guys want to attempt to create like a wand or a staff that you could use as a spell focus, it is a little bit more in depth than just finding a stick that's pointy enough. There are rituals and things like that, but any spellcaster would be kind of familiar with how to make a rudimentary spell focus.
I do have a wand on me that I occasionally will imbue, but it's inert right now, if that'll work.
It would have been taken from you.
Okay.
Even if it was not imbued currently, it looks like a wand, and therefore it would have been taken.
Would my, even though they're inert, but my sending stones, because for me they look different than normal sending stones? Because to me they would have looked like little MP3 speakers. Since I built them.
Because they are magical, they would be gone. Any magic items you guys had would have been taken.
But necessarily having a item to imbue it as a spell focus.
Yeah, like I said, the reason they took the reason the wand is missing is because it looks like a wand, not because it was imbued with magic. The sending stones, though, are imbued, so they would have been missing.
That's what I was saying. If there's a way for us to craft a spell focus.
Yeah.
Does that mean
again, any spellcaster would be familiar with the kind of basic method of converting a stick into a spell focus staff. It takes time. It takes magical energy, and if you do it poorly, spells cast from it can be less accurate or less effective. It's one of the reasons people buy them instead of making them themselves. It does take a little bit of skill to make a good one.
Did you say my armor was also missing?
Was it enchanted?
I had one of my infusions on it, so yeah.
Yeah. So and anything that would have been anything that would have glowed under detect magic would have been taken.
Jody, I'm going to presume you left me with my dignity and I have my clothes on. There's not a lot of intuitive, like I can get away with, so I have like 5 settings. Otherwise I was naked this whole time.
No, you have clothing. Let
me have my clothes.
If you're telling me what I think you're telling me,
let me have my clothes.
No, you are wearing clothes. They are not magical.
That means someone stripped me down and put me in different clothes. God damn it.
They look exactly like the clothes you were wearing previously.
I was wearing fancy clothes.
Yep.
Oh.
Visually, nothing has changed.
That dawns on me in the middle of this, like, son of a bitch!
Uh-oh.
This ain't mine!
Now I know why she asked me why I was fixing my armor. And I'll just look down and around.
Huh?
I guess Lucky's the only one who is lucky. Well, because your armor's you.
Anyone who speaks Sylvan is hearing some very colorful language right now.
Is this a big house, Jody? Is this like...
It's decent sized. Again, the main floor, the room you guys are in right now is kind of like a den. There, at the back of the house is kind of a living room. You can see your chimney and fire place. It does have a stock pot on a rotating hook, so you can kind of cook for yourself there. And the floor itself is brick, and there are a few trivets. So if you wanted to cook for yourself, you could. On the main floor, like the room you're in right now, there's a hallway where there are two kind of smaller rooms on the right side and one kind of larger room on the left. And then past both those rooms is the kind of living room kitchen area. And then next to the single bedroom is a staircase that oh wait, there's two bedrooms on the bottom floor, and then there's three on the top. So bedroom on the other side. On the other side is the living room, and then there's stairs that go up to the three bedrooms up there. So it's a decent sized house.
I just thought of something that might be a little scary in terms of implications. These people have said that they've been waiting for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard
but
that
that's
too.
what Alicia said.
Everyone, are there like clothes provided for us in this house?
I'm wearing them.
There's nothing in the den where you guys currently are, but you haven't explored the rest of the house. Yeah.
I'm going up to like where there's like bedrooms or any place that has like wardrobes or armoires or dressers.
Okay. As you go up there, each room has a wardrobe, and a chamber pot and a vanity with a wash basin. So they're decent rooms.
Yeah, open up the wardrobe.
It seems to be bare.
Does anyone else find it odd that she unlocked the house and didn't give us the key?
I yelled down from the I yelled down from the stairs. Check if the door even has a lock.
Well, it has a lock. She used a key to get in here.
But did she give us a key?
No, she did not.
I will sit
Why
down.
would she do that?
Because apparently we're living in Cloud Canada.
What's a Canada?
I'll sit down in the living room
This
and
place they have a lot of maple syrup.
use a divine smite or divine sense. No, wrong one. Divine sense is what I mean. Just to see if I can sense any good or evil or anything that I usually feels.
Forgot about the divine sense. Okay.
Well,
how
tricky.
far?
60 feet.
60 feet? Okay. So as you kind of extend your divine sense out, as it goes and effectively envelops the entirety of the house, you don't really feel anything laterally, and there's nothing above you. But as it goes down, it stops about somewhere between 10 and 20 feet below the house. Your divine sense just stops working.
Well,
No.
It doesn't cancel it. You can still feel everything else, but there is an absence of sense about somewhere between 10 to 20 feet below the house.
I mean, the bright side, I still have all my tools, like the 4 that I carry with me. So, and I'll whisper quiet, try and be quiet when I say this, so I can break into any house here if we need to.
knowing that, I'll cast another detect magic.
Okay.
And see if I can feel it. What's down.
Again, looking
If that
around,
does anything.
what's the range on detect
It's
magic?
half 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, yeah. Looking into the ground. Again, there's nothing. There's no magic to kind of reflect off it. It's kind of like shining a light into a void. There's nothing to reflect back, so you don't see anything.
I'll relay everything about the divine sense and everything to Zarian.
Okay. I mean, you can share with the rest of the class. I'm sure they're curious as well.
I think we just see you go, just looking down.
Pretty much, yeah. You see me look all around once, look down and stare at the floor for a minute, and then look around again, and then stare down at the full floor for a minute again.
You contemplating your souls?
There's something down.
Can it wait until I'm done fixing the only thing that can defend me right now, please?
Okay, while you're working on that, okay. Okay. What do we know? We woke up on this island. We do not remember being on a friggin' ship. Our memories have been messed with. Our possessions have been messed with. Someone went through the trouble. Someone clearly has access to some type of magic. You don't. This wasn't off the rack. And this ain't mine. Mine.
Let me try something. I'm gonna try and summon my Banu rapier.
Ooh, okay.
Summon your what?
I have weapon bond.
Eldritch Knights are cool. What is the range?
As long as it's in on the same plane of existence.
Okay. Again, I forgot about this particular ability, and so I know what's going on, but I have to figure out how it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you kind of focus on it, you can't sense your weapon.
Uh-oh.
It's almost like you haven't bonded with it.
What the heck?
Which your weapon bond ability is something. It's one of the first things you learned when you started getting your specialized to training. You've never experienced, like you've had situations where you've kind of been forcefully unbound from a weapon as part of your training, but never like it literally just feels like the weapon doesn't exist.
Oh, Scarlet's gonna kill me.
So, I
It's
mean,
really creative though. Take an inspiration.
Thank you.
Lucky, you get to take an inspiration for Divine Sense too.
But yeah, so I would just explain to the group about the not being able to sense what I normally sense that's underground. About anything bad.
Someone went through the trouble. They could have just as easily slit our throats. They didn't.
It's weird.
But they were willing to strip us of literally everything that was magical.
well,
With
I have
that being mentioned, I look down at myself and I realize they took the time to take our weapons.
You have your viol.
I got my violin right here.
Yeah, well, I remember saving that. Yeah, you saved that. You got that.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they take this?
Maybe they didn't realize it.
I think
If they didn't take it, maybe they don't know what it can be used for. Like
They
you
did.
and your book. Me and my violin.
No, my book's mundane. I don't. There's nothing
Oh, your book's
magical.
mundane? Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
something special. Sorry.
No, I'm always writing in it.
It's
But-
special to him.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
They didn't know about Zarian and his thing.
What if we're not actually here and this is
I already thought about that, God.
Like a mental prison of sorts.
Yeah, it might be.
I considered that.
Well, I think regardless, our equipment is probably with our new friend, Eden.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got our equipment. It's either in the temple or that big windmill.
Yeah.
How far
mean-
down did you say the divine sense had stopped, Jody?
Somewhere between to 22 to the 30 feet.
Okay.
It's variable. So it's not like there's just this flat plane where it stopped. It rises and falls.
Well,
Like
see,
it
the
was
Minecraft
moving,
thing-
or just in like a wave shape.
It's not moving. It's just
Okay.
it's a strange shape.
Gotcha.
Just do the Minecraft thing and dig straight down, Lucky. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
That always works, right?
You need an
Regardless-
obsidian pick.
regardless of, believe me, I
Can you
was
make a
paranoid
pick out
enough.
of obsidian? Sorry, going back to the game.
Minecraft side story.
Mental or physical, we're still here in any regard. Why?
Well,
I'm pretty damn sure it ain't for bumper crops.
I mean, the fact that I can still cast and do what I
Yeah.
normally do makes
We
me think
can-
it's more physical.
We can still cast magic, but
Mm-hmm.
it's taken more of a toll on us. And by all counts, while we may not be able to remember our own ship, or even if there was a ship,
Something here's affecting us.
something brought us here.
Yeah.
I remember the veil. There was nothing around us, and yet we're here. How and
There's
why?
Exactly. Gotta just ask
Lucky.
the question. What are they getting out of it?
I need to test a new theory. Who wants to be a guinea pig?
I'm just standing there.
Lucky, punch Reggie.
Depends on.
Wait, what?
Punch Reggie in the face. I need to see something.
I want to see this. I don't know what you want. Okay,
I'll volunteer. Wait, what?
do it.
Oh, Jesus, natural 19.
Oh dear.
So unarmed, it's the +3, so that's 22.
22 points of damage.
No, to
No,
hit.
no. Yeah,
No,
He's apparently an uber monk.
Paladin monk will kick your ass.
He's a punchy paladin.
That's just 1 plus your strength mod and damage.
Yeah, so 4.
4? Okay, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
So
So
Did
Lucky
he
winds
actually-
up and almost knocks you off your feet.
Okay.
You kind of feel your face. There's blood.
Okay,
You split
I
your
dab
lip.
I dab my finger in the blood. I even taste my own blood a bit.
It tastes very bloody.
I taste iron.
okay,
This is real.
so that disproves illusion theory. That's good.
And I'll burn 4 points of lay on hands to heal him back up.
You know, some illusions can be so powerful you take damage from them.
But once we perceive them, they go away.
Well, now hold on. Something tells me we might be looking at this. We need to look at this from a different perspective now. I walk over to like the nearest window and I just kind of look out. What does it look like? Does it look like it's like midday or something, or like mid-afternoon?
Oh yeah, that is a good question. Would I know what time of day it is?
Yeah,
Keen mind.
Yeah, you have keen mind.
Yeah, you're thinking it's when you first got to the meeting hall. It was just before noonish. Now it's shortly after, like 12:30, 1 o'clock ish. Sun's close to its zenith right now. And as you look out, you can see a fairly large amount of people are all kind of funneling their way into the meeting hall.
I'm gonna take a break working on Gerald and go through all my maps to
Mhm.
try and ascertain potentially what region we're in at the very least.
So due to the fact that you don't know how you got here, your maps are not really going to be useful because you don't have a starting point. Theoretically, because you're a cartographer, if you can see stars and have access to a sextant, you might be able to position yourself. However, in the Southern Outlands, stars don't always work the way they do in the regular sovereignty. In the sometimes the stars will shift in the sky and give you false locations. You've actually been on missions where, according to the stars, you've jumped, tens or 15 tens of miles as the ship has gone in a straight line. So
makes sense considering we're on an elemental plane.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm already betting 10 gold that when night comes, there's gonna be no stars at all.
Yeah.
Probably not.
but yeah, until you can see stars, you can't get a position for yourself.
I go over to the window too with Reggie and like, what do you see? I don't know what's going on over here.
I don't know. Looks like some kind of meeting.
Because we're new visitors.
Well, I highly doubt that I think we're gonna get anything figured out in this old house. Who's up for a nice little stroll in the village?
I was just thinking that, do we want to time it when we see some of the last people go in, we go over there and we try to eavesdrop? Because I will be very surprised if they're not talking about us.
Then how about this? Let's see. Hold on. There's 5 of us.
I will say, do not leave me alone, because Eden was very fascinated in me, and I have a feeling, if I'm alone, I will be somewhere else.
I figure if you... Well, I'm gonna guess, Lucky, you're not very stealthy.
All right. All right, here's what we'll do. Zarian, Lucky, you both stay here. Lucky, you defend Zarian with your life in case Eden does anything. Ari, Smegwith, you're going to come with me. We're going to head over to the meeting hall. If anyone asks, you both run interference, and I'll try to find a window where I can try to sneak a gander into what they're talking about in there.
Our job is just to see if we can eavesdrop. Just try and, if we can hear from outside, ideal, great.
Not a problem. And if anyone catches me, I'll just simply say I'm exploring the village because I've never been here before. It's a lovely place. I think I might be able to fool these people.
Look at Howie. Kid, you feeling you can do a stealth mission, or are you thinking you'd be better here?
I can help you guys.
Alright.
She does fight with a rapier.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take my violin with me, so in case I start to draw attention, I'll put on a show, and maybe that might distract everyone.
So it takes the better part of about 15 to 20 minutes for the kind of flood of people to trickle out.
We're like looking through a curtain. We're just like...
But, again, but pretty soon, seems most people that are
Howie,
going in...
Smegwick, Reggie.
Yeah, Scooby Snack!
That guy looks like a jerk. That person looks okay. He looks like a real okay.
But
that woman's got a definite stepfoot smile right there.
But eventually, it seems that as many people are going to be going in there have fulfilled it. So, what do you guys want to do?
Let's head out.
Okay.
And go.
Getting over there is not difficult. Getting over there stealthily kind of is, because there's literally nothing here that would be able to mask your way over. Literally going directly from your front door to the front door there's nothing. It's just wide open space.
And that's why I was wondering about waiting for when most people flood, because it looks like a considerable amount of the town went in, right? If not, conceivably all.
It's definitely not all of the town, but you think probably a good at least half, maybe closer to 2/3 of the town are in there.
So before, I poke my head before we go out.
Mm-hmm.
Any I guess I would look for any houses that have lights on, and
because
or people who are looking out the windows.
It's midday.
Because it's midday.
So midday.
No lights.
I thought that. Okay.
There's no little lights, And you
anyone
don't
looking
see
out.
anyone looking out currently. You do see on this house right over here, there is a woman on the front with a relatively large wash bin, and who's doing laundry.
Is there a side window for us to go out? Is there a back door or side window?
No back door. There are side windows.
I'm going to the side window. I don't want. I see her like, no, someone out front. See that?
Yeah. Now
They have a spy.
to get over here, like since she's right here, she can see this entire area. So there would be no conceivable way without.
I'm sorry. I thought
invisi-
we were here.
You're here. She's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. If
So
we go
she
if we're going out the side.
Yeah.
I'm
So she
presuming.
can't see you here. That's fine. But if you try to get here, she will see you because there's nothing to hide behind.
Oh, I thought that people were meeting at the temple.
No, they're in the the meeting hall. This is the meeting hall. This is the temple. Again, you have no windows that look over the temple.
Okay.
All right, slight change of plans.
Well, do we think like we go side window? Like actually, I can actually draw on this. So side window, back here, just loop around, and then try to eavesdrop.
Because of how large the town is, that will take you a good 15 minutes.
Oh, I will book it.
But it seems doable.
So you say if we were to do a roundabout walk like that, that's going to take roughly about like 15 minutes.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. It's again, it's a decent sized little bit of a village.
Town meeting. They gotta get everything situated. They gotta get there. I'm sure they got like a cultish thing where they all immediately shut up and sit down. But
All right, I'm going to make things a little bit easier, hopefully on all of us. I might regret this, but I feel like this might be a slightly better idea than trying to run interference. I pluck out one of my eyelashes and I cast invisibility.
Sounds painful.
I got a 50-50 shot of doing it just right now.
Yeah, you just... All right, watch me right
Yeah,
now.
I got 3. I got 3.
Oh, damn. So I pluck up my eyebrow or eyelash, and I just go, oh! And while I groan,
Why are you
I
yanking
vanish.
so hard? See
Because
if
I
you
need
get
to be,
anything.
sure.
See if you get anything for us. You don't have to. God.
So you do kind of blink from existence. I do need a concentration check.
Oh, wait. A
Because
what?
it's harder here.
A concentration check.
How do I check that?
There's a con. If
So,
you're going D&D Beyond.
You're familiar with concentration spells, correct?
Yes, it says for invisibility concentration up to 1 hour.
Yes. So a concentration check would be if someone hits you while you were invisible, you would have to make a concentration check to maintain concentration. It's a constitution check. You roll a d20, add your constitution modifier.
Oh, constitution.
Was it?
Okay.
Is it saving throw or?
It's not a constitution saving throw. It is
Okay.
a concentration check, I believe.
Okay, constitution check. Here we go.
It is called. It is
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Oh, thank God. It's actually not bad. 15.
Okay. It is a basic tenet of spellcasting in 5th edition is concentration.
Gotcha.
Did you think you were all one?
No. That was a groan of relief that I finally got a high roll, especially something involving my constitution.
Yeah, I just remembered you had a -1 that.
I was an idiot when I made this character,
Okay, so-
but I'm rolling with it.
Taking from the player's handbook, taking damage. Whenever you take damage while you are concentrating on a spell, you must make a Constitution saving throw to maintain your concentration. The DC equals 10 or half the damage you take, whichever number is higher. If you take damage from multiple sources, such as an arrow and a dragon's breath, you make separate saving throws for each source of the damage. When I say concentration check, that's what I'm referring to. So
But
it's
it's
a
a
con
gotcha.
save.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so
a
still would have
concentration
made it.
saving throw. Yeah. All right. So that being said, as you cast it, again, in order to keep the spell up, you have to concentrate on it, which is normally kind of almost an absent-minded thing you to do. It's just something as a spellcaster you've gotten used to. Now you find you have to actively concentrate on the spell, or you feel it start to slip away. Right now you are maintaining and doing fine, but it's very weird. You're not used to You're not used to having to spend this much effort just to keep your spell going.
What? That's great. What are we supposed to do?
Look, you guys run your own investigation. But if anyone asks, you're taking a stroll around the town. You guys are gonna run interference. I'm just gonna beeline it right for the meeting hall, see if I can't catch wind of what they're talking about, and I'm just gonna come right back before I get a headache.
Okay, so we're out in the open, and you're going to be invisible, and we're going to be taking a stroll. Okay.
Yes. All right, we're gonna walk out at the same time.
How would I know?
You see the door open by itself.
I'm presuming you left. Okay, great. Does he know how invisibility works?
Pretty sure Eden does have fun.
So
Oh
getting
shit!
getting over to the building is not difficult at all. The road itself is dirt, so you do kind of slow yourself as you walk over it, so you're not kicking up dust clouds or anything like that.
I try to stay in like. I actually try to actively stay off the road, and I try to keep in where the grass is, so that if I'm leaving any footprints, they will be less likely to be seen. And my goal is, I'm not heading for the door, but I'm gonna see if I can try to find any kind of already open window, and just like put my head close to it, just to see what's.
Luckily for you, all the windows are currently open, and there are a lot of them. So finding an open window is not difficult whatsoever. And you don't even need to get that close to start hearing just a rather large commotion. At first, it just sounds like random noise, and as you get closer, it is forks landing on plates and chit-chat and flagons being good. There is a giant meal happening in there right now.
Are they all saying one of us, one of us?
Not that you can tell.
Oh my god.
You did find out that little Julie lost her tooth last night, and she's very, very proud that her big girl teeth are going to be coming very soon.
This counts as news in this village? My god.
That is a big moment for a kid.
Okay.
It's her first tooth.
How much time would you say it takes for me to go from the house to the meeting hall if I were to just beeline it there?
A minute or two.
Okay. I am going to spend a total of half an hour there, and then like at right at the 30-minute mark, I'm just going to head back to the house.
Okay.
Because I know I'm sorry?
Do you stay at the same window, or do you kind of like make your way around? Again, there are windows like every 10 feet on this building.
If I were to peek through the window, could I see someone? Could I see if there's like someone on a raised platform, or maybe if there's a person that everyone seems to be focused on?
Yeah. Again, the way that the place is laid out is there is that dais in the middle and has a table. That's where you guys is ate. And looking in, it's very easy to see. Eden is up there. Michael is up there with him. There's a few other people that you don't recognize up there, and they're conversing with each other.
Okay, I'm going to see if there's a window that's closer to those main figures of the... There's not?
They're in the dead center.
Dead center.
Yeah, the dais is in the dead center of the dining room. And the noise level is so loud that there is no way you can hear. If you could read lips, you might have had something, but without the ability to read lips, there's so much other noise it's impossible to hear them.
Okay, then first off, I'm just going to stay at the window that I've been at this entire time, and I guess I can try to do a perception check to see if I can read the lips of. I'm going to be focusing on Eden specifically.
Unless you actually have, there's I think it's the observant feat that gives you the
Yeah.
ability to read lips.
Oh, that's actually a thing? Oh,
Yes.
yep. Then no, never mind. I don't have that. Never mind.
Reading lips is an actual skill, and it is remarkably difficult to learn, and takes a lot of practice. I used to be able to do it relatively well, and I can't anymore. So it's not something you're going to be able to do unless it's something that you train your character to do. Or
Okay, then
again,
never
with the
mind.
observant feat, it's one of the big selling points of the observant feat. Reading lips is just so useful.
Okay, then never mind. Then I'm just gonna do my best to just try to, as best as I can, focus my hearing and Eden and like the other higher figures. And again, I'm only gonna do this for a half hour before
Okay.
I head back to the house.
So in that half hour, you find out the following things. Again, little Julie lost her tooth.
Lost tooth.
There's a relatively large harvest coming in next week in the northern field.
Alright,
A lot of
field.
the root vegetables are about ready. It seems that Cecilia and Mark have been sleeping in separate beds for the past week, and they're fairly certain that they're not having any sex.
Small town.
You also find out that William and Kanal have this kind of tiff going because they're both interested in Weatherby, but Weatherby is not interested in either of them. But Weatherby has not told either of those two boys that he's not interested, and he's instead interested in another boy that they don't give you his name.
Oh, jeez. And that's it? That's all I really learned?
Yeah, lots of gossip.
Okay, I head back to the house before this magical strain makes me lose concentration.
Yeah, when you get back, as you drop the spell, you didn't realize it until you came in. You are breathing heavy. Like you.
Okay,
you-
I
you
sit
go
down on the floor, like back on the wall.
And as you sit down, you notice that your clothes stick to you a little bit. There is the thinnest layer of perspiration on you. You
Like-
exerted yourself pretty hard sustaining that spell for that long.
This ain't right.
What gave you that idea?
So are me and Owie just strutting around trying to?
What would you get? He was gone for the better part of about 45 minutes. So in that
Oh.
time, what would you guys like to do? He's got really valuable information to bring back. So you may want to be there waiting.
Well, he said like we were supposed to go out openly while he goes invisible.
Mhm. So where do you guys want to go?
I mean, we can go for a slight stroll, like a brief stroll, and come back. I figure, like maybe I'm drawing on the map like this, because I definitely want to eye that,
Mhm.
and then eye the windmill, and then maybe, like I don't know how much time it would take to like circle and come back. Maybe about that same amount of time.
You guys in 45 minutes, you could easily go around that entire area. That would probably, for a leisurely stroll, probably take you 25-ish minutes. So if you want to
Okay.
go somewhere else, you can as well.
Well, my primary goal is like, because this is Smegwick, because he's zeroing in because he wants his friggin' magic back. He's like, if I were magical components, where would I be?
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation to check as you guys are wandering.
Okay. Investigation.
19 on my physical die. 24.
All right. Aoi?
10.
Okay. So, Aoi, you're a little bit more focused on just kind of getting the feeling of this town around you. Again, as you guys are wandering around, the first kind of big landmark you pass by is the temple-like building, and you can see on the eastern side there are these large kind of stained glass windows. It's obvious there's some sort of chapel or something there. As you guys are continuing to go, Smegwick, you are looking anywhere where you think something could be happening. Every house you go past, you're looking to see if there's a cellar or a basement. So far, none of them have anything that would indicate they have a lower floor. As you get to the windmill, you notice there is only one entrance to the windmill, and it is guarded by people with spears. It's the only weapons you have seen on the entire island thus far.
Guarded. It's like, how's it going? Okay.
Yeah.
That's...
And they
Aoi,
wave.
going to Aoi is like, guards on a windmill?
Yeah, no one here is supposed to have, like, any weapons, so why would they have them?
Yeah.
One of them kind of calls out, "Hello!"
Hi!
Hey, how's it going? Lovely night. Lovely day. Afternoon. So.
Very much so. Would you like to join us? We're having a very quick meal. We can't go to the main meal. We have our jobs to do. We have plenty. We have some wine. We have some cheeses.
I'm good. Just eight.
Hey!
Just
Okay.
eight.
Well, it's lovely to see you.
Making a constitutional.
I hate this place.
As you kind of really focus on the windmill, obviously the windmill goes into the ground. It is the only building you've seen thus far that obviously goes into the ground. And because of how tall it is, you think it goes pretty far into the ground.
Being that it's like that's like above average windmill that's super tall.
Yes.
So, yeah,
normal
so-
windmill,
so- yeah.
maybe 30, 40 feet. This
To be
is
structurally
200.
sound. Yeah, to be
Yeah.
structurally sound, it would have to go deep to support it.
And it's not incredibly wide either, so...
Okay, so my 24 investigations is making me suspect the windmill.
Thus
Not necessarily
far,
not necessarily
the-
guaranteeing
the
like
only thing
that's where it is.
that has raised any sort of issue thus far with the 24 is the windmill is guarded, and it continues underground. As you could come back, you can go back past the tavern with the 24. The tavern probably has a cellar as well. But that is an incredibly common thing for a food prep area because that's where
Yeah.
they keep cold food. So
Food, beverages, barrels, that kind of thing.
yeah,
But anything else
because
on
he
the temple?
mentioned wine, you think they probably have a wine cellar as well.
And would I have sussed anything on the temple when we were walking by?
With a 24, yeah. Again, the temple itself seems to be older than the rest of the buildings, and is really, really solid. The temple itself is about, math is hard, is a good 5 to 7 feet off the ground. Like there's this very large kind of stone slab it's built on that elevates it even higher, and it itself is 50 or 60 feet tall. It is other than the windmill, it is the tallest building in the village.
As a temple as well, it's not unheard of like temples and churches to also have. Does it look like this could also conceivably have a basement
It's the
or lower
theoretically
level?
it's theoretically possible, but because it's built on this very large stone slab, you've got no idea. The stone slab could be solid. There could be something underneath it. You'd have to go in to be sure. You don't see don't see a graveyard or anything anywhere on the island. So
that's
something that's
well, it makes sense.
relatively common if there is a lack of space is to have some sort of reliquary or something underneath. Generally, temples to the Dark Lady, where the dead are entombed. So
yeah, well, I would imagine in a plane where land is a commodity of very precious, I would imagine there's not a lot of cemeteries. Unless you're probably a high status.
Quote unquote burial at sea or burial in the Vale is very, very common. Graveyards in general are not used. Generally, you have the wealthy will have can't remember the word for it right now.
Crypts.
Yeah, the wealthy will have crypts. Everyone else is basically tossed into the Vale.
Crypts and tombs.
So there's ceremonies and everything like that, but kind of a Viking funeral is very, very common.
So it probably wouldn't be that unusual to not see a graveyard per se around there.
Yeah, for a self-contained group like this, because again, everything else in the sovereignty is interconnected vastly by trade routes and the things like that.
Not to be too morose, but in a plane like this, would there be a consigned area to where it's bye, Grandma?
In most smaller villages, instead of just kind of tossing the body into the Vale, they effectively do a Viking funeral where they will. That generally they will build a very, very small boat that's large enough for the body. It will be filled with flammable
oil
items and things like that. They send it out and they shoot an arrow, and as the ship burns, it'll eventually drop into the Vale.
This is so dark. My brain went. My brain went to. My brain went to
such One Piece dark.
My brain went to dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the television show, and where they would chuck the old dinosaurs off the cliff into the tar pits.
Yeah. No, it's
There's a spider the size of a dime out in the fucking closet.
Excuse me, guys. I will be right back. Gotta kill a spider.
Gotcha.
While they're gone, I'm going to take a break from working on Gerald, and I'm going to turn the house over and look for any secrets. Just anything whatsoever. Hidden compartments,
Sure.
false doors, whatever.
Go ahead and make me an
I will help you do that.
investigation check. If Lucky's helping, you can do it with advantage.
Alright, well, so far it's a natural 18. Let's see. Okay, it's 2 18, so that's 29 total.
So looking around, there is nothing about this house. It's boring. It's remarkably boring. One thing you do find awkward, all the bedrooms, all the doors have locks on them. All of the locks, while they work like normal locks, it appears that all of them can be locked from the outside, as can your front door.
So my
Well,
theory is correct on that.
Well, that's indoors too, right? That's.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a separate locking mechanism that would override the lock from the inside that you have found, that effectively would mean if you have the right key, you could lock the front door and you guys would not be able to unlock it from the inside. And the same is true about all the rooms.
Hey, Lucky.
Yeah.
I'm going to claim this room, and I'll just get a random one upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do your best to quietly just take the hinges off the door? I don't need doors. Doors are overrated.
Well, it's a binge.
I'll point out what I'm talking about.
not there.
Just quietly break those so the door doesn't close. And I'll point
And I'll just
to,
essentially just pull the door off the hinge.
crunch.
Or are you yanking the door off, or are you going for the hinge and like?
Go ahead and make me a strength athletics.
Oh God!
Ripping the entire thing off the hinges.
God.
Is that 14 plus 6? Dirty 20.
Yeah, you have no problem. The house is well made, but it's a door.
Yeah.
So you crunch.
Thank you. Just set that aside. I'll probably use the metal that they'd used on that door and locks for my own personal use. I am not getting locked in there.
I just set to the side. Like, yeah.
So as you all return, Reggie, you return about this is the same ish time that Smeg and Owie could come back, and as you all kind of come in, you see Reggie in one of the chairs in the front room, kind of breathing heavy. You can see his skin's a little bit slick, and as you all kind of get in, you hear this very loud cracking sound and a ripping sound of wood being destroyed up the stairs.
Oh God! They came for us.
No, it's fine.
What happened to you?
Underestimated how much it took.
Oh, you're fine.
Magic hates us here.
I know.
Something's gotta be leeching the magic out of here. That's
I'll
something
have
that big over an entire area. I
I'll
don't
have-
think it's in the food.
Hey, Lucky, bring the door down so I can show them. We'll have a little class.
Okay.
And I'll point out what I've discovered about all the locks.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't. I appreciate the reason why, but you're an artificer. Could you have just messed with the doors and the locks and?
Yeah, but that's more efficient. Quicker.
Well, I'm not gonna argue with the results, but they're gonna ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I was tinkering with the door. Whatever.
It was really squeaky, so you got angry at it.
Hey, they took my oils away. What can I do?
Or we could just, at night, we just put the door back in the door seal.
I will
just
say
sit there.
with a just a flat to 20, pieces of the wall are still attached to the hinge.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I was pretty much looking if they had, well, I don't know, the paranoia is getting the better of me. If they had,
Clearly.
if there was like, peepholes in a painting so they could watch us while we're in the living room kind of thing. I was getting a little paranoid. I don't like this place.
Well, we got more reason to be paranoid of this place.
Back at the windmill, there were guards with spears.
Yeah, someone had weapons. That big ass windmill.
Did you happen to see the deity of choice here?
Very vague. It's not a script.
I feel like that could tell us a little bit about this area, at least.
The temple looks to be the oldest structure here. The windmill seems to be the tallest. You would think that would be... I mean, windmills, traditionally, even the biggest ones are used to catch the wind. Now, that's excessive.
Generally, most windmills are used to effectively turn a millstone to grind bread or things similar to that. Something this big would have the ability to turn something very, very massive.
So, after I finish fixing old Jerry here, I'm going to take a little break, but then I want to I don't know. I don't want to walk around because I have a feeling I won't be. I don't know. She just seems really interested in what I could do. So
Well,
it makes me think she's the one that took all our stuff.
Yeah, someone definitely did. Question. One, is Zarian done building Gerald?
He hasn't had enough to the time.
I just took a
again, it's
break.
only been
Okay.
45 minutes, so.
When you do get done building Gerald, I'm wondering if he's going to turn on.
I mean, it's a combination of magic and metal, so. Well, arcane to be precise.
That's the point. I'm having a hard time with a mage hand. Reggie gets Mr. Flopswood over here and tried to maintain visibility.
See, all the items they took from me.
Would you drink something?
Here's what's weird, though. All the items they took from me and Lucky's polearm, they're not actually magical. I just made them that way temporarily. So I could do that to other things.
But they were imbued with magic.
Yes. But if I were to imbue something else with a similar property, they become inert.
Well, yeah, but they were still imbued with magic, therefore they were giving off a magical signature. My clothes, this ain't mine, were magical. Mundane, not a threat to anyone, but clearly they were interested in enough to snatch it off me and replace it with this.
What I'm getting at is I have a means of giving us stronger weaponry if the need arises.
No, I get that, yeah.
I just want my crossbow. Custom made it for a reason.
I want Spitwit back. Top of the list on suspicion of where our stuff is, windmill. Also, secondary suspicion, any building that goes down that deep is going to be the windmill. If we want to get, like, the church is maybe, but structurally speaking, that windmill, I mean, hell, you're an artificer, you know about engineering probably better than I do. Something that friggin' big, gotta go down that friggin' deep to maintain good rigidity.
I'm just going to go back to working on Gerald while we're talking.
Okay.
I'm going to work on adding a mechanism to the base of the neck that allows his head to spin like an owl.
Okay.
That's cute.
The
I'm
issue
thinking-
you're
oh,
going to
go ahead.
have is just a lack of materials here in the house. Even the small bits of metal are not going from your door or your previous door. The artist formerly known as door.
It's on my list of to do.
Yeah. Okay. To make something like that, you're going to need access to a workshop.
Yep. Oh, I guess we'll find out tomorrow how terrible this place actually is, because we're gonna be put to work. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm no stranger to farming.
I mean, I took
Reggie, I don't think Reggie gonna be able to sing for your supper.
I just need a moment to just breathe.
Would you friggin' hydrate?
I kind of took the academic route. I'm not manual labor type. I mean, yeah, I'm not, probably not the weakest one here, but I'm not gonna farm.
Well, you'll probably be really handy making plows, hoes.
Or studied. Well,
I want to see. Now I think I don't know if we want to all stay in our own separate rooms or we want to take shifts, staying down here.
that's why I want to get Gerald fixed. He doesn't sleep. He's not even a person.
I don't sleep either.
I want to know. There's like now. I know you gave the general description to Reggie. If I were to like give this place the once over for an inspection to investigate this, could I really to see what the type of people were that previously lived here? Is there anything to read into that, or there's no point?
There's nothing here to indicate who lived here previously. And again, he got a 29.
Okay.
So
Sure.
Well, I think he was searching, so I didn't know if that was. Okay.
he knows this house pretty damn well.
Yeah.
So as the day
Other thing-
continues on, the sun starts to get a little bit low in the sky, and you guys hear
And
"Excuse me, it's time for evening meal." Alicia's at your door. Would you like to come? I can bring you something if you prefer to stay in.
I kind of whisper, as much as I would like to stay here, I think we're going to have to try and get a read on these people themselves. We think we might have to risk it.
Yeah.
We can only hide here so long.
Okay.
Has it
All right,
been a-
I think I'm recovered enough to walk around again.
Has it been enough time for me to finish working on Gerald?
Not quite yet. There's still some bits and bobs. You probably need another hour-ish after dinner to finish it.
Okay, I'll just store it in my room so it's not just out and about since people like to walk in houses here.
Well, I mean, if you want, like, Lucky don't need to eat, right?
No.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you
that's
wanted
true.
to stay, if you wanted to stay here, working on this, we'll bring you back something.
I mean, I'm kind of curious myself, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'm kind of paranoid if we leave Gerald here, he ain't gonna be back.
Yeah, I guess if you want to chill here, Lucky, I could chill with you, but that is a good point. It's up to you, Lucky. Do you want to go and
I'll
pretend to
do
eat?
whatever.
Well, I'm giving you a choice here. You don't have to, listen to everything I say. You can think for yourself.
But I'm not good at that.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do? You're gonna be that couple?
Dang it, I tried not to go there.
It's like the
All right.
freaking bride in Coming to America.
Okay, we'll make this easy then. You don't need food. You wait here. Guard Gerald. How's that sound?
Okay.
Then I'll start making my way out there.
All right, so you guys could come in, and Alicia brings you to a table. It's kind of near the dais, but on the main floor. And this meal has meat. There's meat, and there's bread, and there's some sort of fermented beverage that's cold. You're not 100% certain what it is, but it smells good. It smells very fruity.
Because of my paranoia with this place, I am not touching the meat.
Okay. Food is brought around. A plate is brought to all of you, consisting of mostly the same thing. It looks like the venison, a bunch of roasted vegetables, what looks like some sort of mashed root vegetable, and then a roll on each plate, and then a cold, fruity beverage that has a kick to it.
Just like before, I would still be investigating the food.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the same check as the last time. As you're looking it over, you see Eden kind of just stand up, and she get up, puts her hands out.
19.
It looks pretty regular. It doesn't look like anything's been done to it. As you finish looking at it, you see Eden say, "My fellow villagers, we have been graced with new faces. So today we rejoice. Every new addition to our wonderful community makes us stronger, makes us better. We will all hopefully to teach them our ways, and if we are lucky, they will teach us something new as well. To newfound friends," and she raises a glass, and everyone in a very kind of familiar fashion, as if they've made this toast before. They go, "To newfound friends," and they all take a drink.
I raise my glass the same way, and then I motion to drink, but I don't actually drink.
Okay.
Gonna have to risk it. We can only
Yeah.
we can only not eat and drink so long.
Yeah,
Smeg-
I'm drinking.
Smegwick will say in Sylvan, knowledge is community. And he's going to clock if anyone understands what he just said.
Make an insight to check.
You said that in Sylvan?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can't.
Probably not going to be too great. 13.
Just out of your brief field of vision, you have a couple people that kind of look at you weird, but you don't see anyone that seem to understand what you said. But again, there's so many people here, and it was loud enough at that point that you're not 100% certain. Someone might have understood you, you just might not have seen it. So everyone just kind of goes back to the eating. You guys are actually part of a table. There are other people at your table as well. They're kind of chit-chatting with themselves. Every so often they'll be like, "So, did you have a nice day?"
Oh, great. Yeah, we woke up with a touch of amnesia and woke up here.
Yeah,
Wonderful food.
I remember my first day. It wasn't very much fun. Eden is so nice, isn't she?
Do you? Do you remember your first day here?
Of course I do. I don't remember much before it.
Yeah,
But Eden was really nice. She gave me my own house. You know, this, and he points to this woman next to him who's just filling her face. You know, this is my wife, Edith. She, I met her right here. Yeah. And we just kind of hit it off. Like we were both in the field together, and we were working together, and she was really hot. Like not like she is hot, but I mean she was like sweating, and I was like, "Wow, you're really hot." And she's like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "Oh no, I meant you were sweat." See, she's not the same thing that you thought.
That is so interesting. Tell me, when you popped the question, who performed the ceremony and under what auspice was it performed?
Well, we what? We didn't have any spices.
Who performed the ceremony and what deity was it under?
We dated for like 6 months, I guess.
I said perform the ceremony, and what deity was it under?
Yeah, we dated for I guess it was for under 7 months.
God!
We don't have any use for God, sir. It was just Eden was kind enough to marry us. She was a captain before, so she could marry at sea. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long has she been here?
Well, I don't know. She's been here longer than I have, that's for sure.
And how long have you been here?
Edith, how long have I been here? And Edith, kind of is a little shocked, and then she very slowly puts her feet down, and she, 4 years, I think. Yeah, 4 years. That's what I say. Thank you, honey. You look so pretty right now. Yeah, and she goes back to eating. Isn't she great? I
Real
love her
good.
so much.
Yeah, lucky man.
Yeah, I am.
Come and see you both.
Thank you. So, you have a good day?
Again, woke up with amnesia.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
I just lean over to Smegwick. This is really weird.
Oh, really? I was unaware.
So, you guys gonna take tomorrow off? You don't have to work tomorrow. You can take the time to meet people, walk around in town. That's what I did. I did that for almost a solid week.
We might have more questions. We might need to acclimatize ourselves a little bit
Feel
more.
free to ask away. I am an open book.
I lean back to Smegwick, but I'm also just kind of leaning forward as well to get Owie and the others like in on this conversation. All right. All right. So I think it might be a good idea for now until we figure out what to do next to try to get on the good side of these people.
I will
I'm
say,
ready.
you guys are at a circular
Yeah.
table.
Oh,
So saying anything to part of the table that the other part doesn't hear is going to be relatively difficult, especially with
Oh.
the noise level in the river room.
All right.
I do have one question. You say you guys don't go in much for the whole gods thing.
Yeah.
What's with the big old temple?
Oh.
The temple? What are you... Oh, the abbey! Yeah, well, that's, that's where we give thanks to the island, you know? I mean, it provides all our food, it grows it, and it gives us all the animals. It's just, it's nice to say, thank you.
Are you implying, good sir, that this great island that we are all situated on is more than just an island?
Yeah, you've seen how big the forest is. Have you ever seen a forest that's that small? It's got animals. Like, we would have hunted them clean done in a week. But yet
And
they keep coming.
animals just appear?
Well, yeah.
I thought you went to other islands to get animals.
Well, yeah, every so often there's not quite enough, especially when new people show up. And they're kind of the same. Like, when we go to other islands, there's different there's different stuff there. Like here it's mostly like deer and venison. But they have other, like, there's turkeys on the islands. Those are really good eating, and other, like, birds. We don't get much birds here. Not like big ones you could eat. We got small ones, but not really big ones. So yeah, we could live pretty well off of just the island, but it gets boring. You want something different.
Smegwick, you keep on with the interrogation. I'm gonna see if I can make this fine community be a little friendlier with us. I get up. I get up from the table, and I graciously approach Eden with like a little bow, and I just say, "My dear hostess."
As you get close, again, she's on kind of a dais, and the steps up to the dais, there are two people kind of standing there, just kind of informally. And as you get close, they both kind of turn to you. Is there something we can do for you?
Oh, I merely wanted to give thanks to our gracious hostess for allowing us to be here at this time and welcoming us into this fine community. As a show of gratitude, it would be my esteemed honor to play a little music for everyone here, if our gracious hostess would be allowing such a thing.
Well, see, there's this thing, right? So the people up on the dais, they basically run the village. They make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to, and
Oh yes, of course.
and while they eat, they're doing business. So we don't interrupt them. We don't do any performances or anything during dinner because they got works to do, right? So we don't want to be bothering them. But I'll let her know that you came by. You said that, and I'll let her know that you want to do singing or whatever you do. I don't know.
Oh, just a little playing of the violin.
Sure,
just to add
sure.
some atmosphere.
As far she might be able to set up a time when you can do that. It's just during mealtime, we don't get a lot of time to like talk to each other. You know, when you're out in the fields, there's lots of work to do, and you get spread out all over the island. So, yeah, we don't really have music or anything during dinner, right? It's not what we do. But we can set up a time for you to do that. Like I said, it's just right now, it's not a good time for we don't let people bother her, right?
Oh, no, not a problem. Thank you so much for clearing that up for me. I'll get out of your hair now. And I turn around and I walk back to the table and I just go, okay, so that didn't much work.
As you get back, your table guest is going, so that was the third time that I stepped on something in the field, and it was bad. Like Edith was right there, and she saw me step on it, and it like moved. I think it was like
would
a
have a
gopher.
question. During the time when he was trying to get up there, Smegwick actually would be asking questions like, so this place provides for you. So in terms of, because when we came in, we saw the farms and tills being worked. Usually it's quite strenuous work in the fields and the farms and so forth. So same people always working and always putting in the work day, going through the day. What exactly when you're working, you know, not everything applies the same way in regards to growth. What exactly is the process here for such verdant fields? And he's basically trying to suss out, like, if these people don't know what the hell they're doing, how are they getting supplied so well?
Vertical fields. Our fields are kind of horizontal. They're all flat.
Lush.
Providing. We just, you know, it's not rocket science, you know, it's not can't figure out a term. It's not, you know, high level magic to make stuff grow. You know,
to make it grow well year after year, it takes a little bit.
Well, that's right. The people up there, they come up with all the plans. But what we do is we do what they tell us. You know, I till the ground, we put the fertilizer in, we water the crops. Like, they're much smarter than I am. I just do what I'm told.
Wait, I'll turn to Smegwick. Yeah, I deal with this on a daily basis. You got to use small words.
Yeah, clearly the one thing they don't have in the village is a thesaurus.
Telling me. Now, I'll ask, is there usually, do you have to, like, wait till everyone's done to leave, or can we just leave whenever?
you can leave whenever you want. You know, since this is the nightly meal, no one's going back to work after work. Well, nobody has to go back to work. There's a couple people here that just, you know, they get really into their stuff and they go back. But most of us we'll stay here until we're bored, or we may go back to our houses, or we may just chill outside. You know, it's just.
You know what, friend? You bring an interesting aspect. You just made me think of something really keen with how well and providing this place is, and the temple you give thanks to. Is there anyone in the village that makes really quality incense and real high quality herbs?
We grow all our herbs. We don't grow them in the field. They grow them in the south part of the town in smaller fields, because you put them in the big fields and they'll just get crushed by all the good, you know, stuff. But
that is true. You have said this place does grow everything extremely well.
But
the temples and so forth for your worship, does that involve incense?
We don't really use a lot of incense, to be honest. At least not that I've done. I don't go to the abbey very often, so.
If I did want herbs, though, really good quality
Yeah,
herbs. You seem
just
to
go to
grow
the
well.
south part of the town and you just ask around. There's a little garden there. That's where we get all our fresh herbs from. They're really nice.
Smegwick.
Mm.
Keep an eye on the dais while I leave. I'm gonna go back. I'm a little tired. See
Well, I
if
think-
anyone pays attention to me.
Okay, we'll follow suit. We'll follow right after you.
And I'll walk out and head back to the house.
Okay. As you're kind of heading back to the house, you can see other people are starting to trickle out. The food itself has kind of stopped, and you can see the whole town is kind of starting to wind down. Eden says goodbye to her guest. She kind of comes over. Well, it was certainly wonderful for you all to be here. It's rather late, so I'm going to go back to my house. But I'll be sure to be here bright and early. Come with as many questions as you have.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have quite a few, and perhaps we can discuss that at a much later time.
Indeed.
Good
Have
night.
a lovely night, Captain.
And she wanders off.
Did she react at all when I called her Captain?
Nope. So pretty soon you guys are one of maybe about half a dozen tables that still have people. Edith and her husband have gotten up and left. So you're alone at your table.
I would just go back and finish Gerald.
Okay.
I would definitely shortly after that little interaction, we'd go ahead and book it back too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
So
me
you all are able to go back home and get into your beds and get ready.
I go as soon as the door opens, is Gerald still here?
He is not. No, just kidding. He's still there.
Uh,
Neither am I.
No one is here. Who's Gerald? There's no Gerald. Gerald's been dead for 100 years.
Before we go to bed or anything else like that, Smegwick is going to make it a point. I don't know if we're going to bed. We can suss that out next time. But he is going to, before doing this, he's going to mutter things to himself. Okay. He's going to mutter various things or reminder things that he does remember beyond that last memory he had.
Okay. Well, as the sun sets, that is where we are going to end it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always.
Can't we have 10 more minutes of cult-like behavior?
No. As always, if you enjoyed this and you missed any of the episode, I do upload all of these to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TrainerJody. I upload new episodes on Sundays, so you can check it out there. Otherwise, it stays on my Twitch channel as a VOD for a month. So you can always watch it here as well. If you're watching on YouTube, come watch us live. I run D&D games every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central. So come out, enjoy the show, interact with the game using channel points, which we call TJ Tales. You can give the players inspiration. You can create NPCs, even create bosses, and combat and kick counters for them. So check all that stuff out. Because we have a bit of an audience tonight, I am going to actually send you guys over to one of my buddies. His name is Gil the Vlogsmith. He's playing Star Wars Squadrons right now, and he's a super awesome dude. So when you get over to his chat, just type in "roll for initiative." You'll know what it means. So thank you so much for everyone, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming. Come again.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye-bye.